When they reached the pack house, Damon could see that Talia was still out, and she didn't react when he turned off the engine, or when he nudged her a little while calling her name, or when he carried her upstairs, princess style. He was determined to scold her for her irresponsible behavior. What would happen if he didn't interfere? Why can't she be more careful? What was she thinking? Doesn't she know how adorable and completely defenseless she is? But just as he reached the third floor of the pack house, Talia snuggled close to him and nuzzled his neck with her nose as she released a soft moan that shook his insides. To make things worse, Talia's warm breath slipped into his shirt, making him tingly all over. He forgot what he was planning to do. "Damn it!" Damon cursed under his breath. He was supposed to be angry and not intrigued. Talia had him wrapped around her little finger and she didn't know it. Silly girl. Damon stood in the hallway while facing a dilemma. Talia's room or his? It should be his, but considering Talia's state, he didn't want to add to her confusion in the morning, so he took the door on his left into Talia's room. Damon placed Talia on the bed, and he hovered above her while contemplating if he should change her clothes into something more sleep-appropriate. But what if she woke up halfway and thought he was a creep? He didn't know what to do about Talia's clothes, but he decided to change into something more comfortable before joining her in bed. Damon was about to move when he felt Talia holding onto his hand, and he froze while looking at her sleepy face questionably. "Don't leave me, Damon," she whimpered, her voice barely above a whisper, but he heard her clearly. She snuggled closer to him, her little hand holding onto his shoulder. "I won't leave, Talia. I will never leave you," he murmured, and he meant every word he said. Damon feared that Talia would leave him, but it seemed that she had the same concerns, and that should be a good thing. Damon was aware that Talia was drunk, and she wouldn't remember saying those words in the morning. But he would remember them, and he was confident that this was a move in the right direction, because now he knew that she needed him, at least a little bit. Talia relaxed against Damon, and her arm moved from his shoulder to his waist, and then she snored softly. Damon looked at the beautiful woman in his arms, sleeping peacefully, absolutely unaware of the mind-shattering effect she has on him. Talia's sweet citrusy scent of freesia made him dizzy, and his nerves tingled from amazing sparks of the mate bond, and he buried his face in her hair, taking deep breaths while enjoying Talia's proximity, and he wished that they could stay like that forever. It was dawn when Keith got out of his room, and he followed the scent of breakfast into the kitchen. Eggs, bacon, coffee. "When will that be done?" he asked Katya, who was flipping pancakes. "By the time you get yourself a coffee, it will be ready," Katya responded. "Coffee or milk for you?" Keith asked, confirming if she plans to sleep or stay awake. Normally, Katya worked at night and slept during the day, and they saw each other in the morning and evening. But today was the festival, so she might stay up longer. "I will have milk only. After last night, I need some sleep. I will join the events by the time you give out trophies," Katya responded. "Pour coffee for Oscar also. He is in the shower." Keith hummed and grabbed 3 cups. After finishing college, Keith returned to the pack, and he wanted to stay in an apartment, but then Katya offered him a bedroom in a 2-story home where Katya was living with her mate, Oscar. Keith agreed, and he moved into the spare guest bedroom on the first floor. Keith didn't need more than a bedroom with a bathroom because he usually spent his days in the gym or in the Shifters nightclub. He came home only to sleep and change clothes, and even that he sometimes did in his office in the training center. By staying in his sister's house, Keith got to eat her cooking. If he were on his own, Keith would probably live off granola bars and protein shakes. "What happened last night?" Keith asked before taking a bite of toast. Katya groaned. "There was a huge fight. Every time we have other packs visiting, there is a scuffle or two. But this time, the whole club was swept away. We had ambulances from the Packhouse Hospital and from the Human Hospital. Luckily, Alpha Maddox and Axel were there to calm their people. Beta Caden called several of our patrols to help out, and that's why Oscar is up already. We returned together from the shifters after cleaning up the mess. Keith understood that the situation was bad, because normally the bouncers from the shifters were enough to calm down rowdy patrons, and there was no need to call warriors. While thinking about a violent fight in the nightclub, Keith became restless. "Do you know if Talia was there?" Katya grinned. "You're worried about her, aren't you?" He didn't deny it. "So? You like her, and I mean like her," Katya said in a singing voice. Keith rolled his eyes. "It's not like that. Her wolf is hurt, and she doesn't have the—" His voice trailed when he noticed Katya grinning at him. "Did she invoke your protective side? Are you saying that it's wrong for me to worry about someone?" Katya shrugged. "That's not what I said. But I saw you last night. You were trying to impress her. You made a drink especially for her. You danced like a true gentleman. And there was a silly grin on your face while she didn't seem to be love-struck. With all the girls swooning over my lovely baby brother, there is no need for you to put an effort to get yourself a hookup. There were several dozen she-wolves who would accompany you for the night without questions asked, yet you left on your own. How special is she?" "It's not like that, Kat. She's a nice girl. That's all to it." Keith narrowed his eyes at Katya, who looked at him mockingly, obviously not believing what he said. He decided to change his tactic. "You never meddled in my life, Kat. I'm here for the food. But if you turn into a nosy older sister, I will move out and live on my own." Seeing that Katya pressed her lips into a line, Keith knew that she got his message. It was none of her business why he made a drink for Talia, and why he talked and danced with her without trying to pick her up for the night. Besides, even if he wanted to make a move, he knew that Talia was not a girl like that, which is unusual for werewolves, but he interacted with many humans during his college days, and he is familiar with those naive eyes that don't see it coming. Keith felt like protecting Talia and not taking her to bed, but Katya will probably not get that. "You didn't answer my question," Keith reminded Katya. "Was Talia hurt last night?" "She was not in the pile of injured and passed out people, so she either left before the fight started, or she was well enough to leave on her own before Dr. Travis started taking a head count." Keith relaxed and put a forkful of eggs into his mouth. He had a number of things that needed to be dealt with before the game started, and he wondered when Talia would come. She said that she would come in the morning to watch games, and they had lunch plans and exercise in the afternoon, and after that, he would take Talia to the fair and win her a stuffed toy. Keith didn't want Katya to find out about his plans for the day, because she would get more ideas about him and Talia. She was a nice girl, and there was nothing more to it. Right?
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.